Well, hi there. This is a tutorial video on how to enter Sunday morning attendance stuff into our database. Just a reminder, this is a really valuable ministry. It's not primarily to get attendance numbers, but it's rather more important for us to be able to just notice when people are missing so that we can follow up and kind of, on one hand, keep them accountable, knowing that church attendance on a Sunday morning is important. It's not just attendance, I shouldn't say, it's also participation. But also on the other hand, if somebody goes missing, perhaps is sick or is missing for other reasons, we want to be able to be notified of that and to be able to reach out to them and care for them. So in a growing church, this is a really vital and important ministry. So what we're going to be having is we're going to have these connection cards. You'll see right here. They'll be sent down each row on Sunday morning, and people will all fill out this card. So every family will fill out a card. Typically, it'd be just one family filling out the card. They'd fill out, Mr. John Smith, name of the spouse, Kathy Smith, and their children that are in the service with them. So not the children that would be in the children's ministry. And then any prayer requests they might have, and then if they want to update their information, that's great. Or if they have if they're brand new, they want to fill this section out and check boxes off, etc. So for those inputting the data into the system, you're going to get all the connection cards for a Sunday, or perhaps we might split them into half and do half and half. Basically, what you want to do though is take your stack of connection cards and organize them by last name alphabetically. So if you have Smith, obviously that'd go towards the end of the pile, and somebody with a last name like Abrams would go near the front of the pile. And that'll be important for entering it in smoothly into our database. Next, you'll log into our Breeze database. This can be accessed anywhere that you have access to an internet connection. Try to make sure you're using a personal computer, not a public computer, or if you use a public computer that you would just clear the cookies and don't save the passwords. But you'll log in at harvestwindsor.breezechms.com. You don't need to press this login, it'll show up. And you're going to type in the username, which is Sunday morning. The password is we love people. All lowercase. We love people. It'll log in and it's very simple to navigate. You simply click on events. And from events, you'll be shown a calendar. And on this calendar, you would click the appropriate Sunday for the Sunday you're tracking the attendance for. So in this case, we're going to go with October 8th. It'll give it just a moment and it'll pop up. This is all church services. So again, we're not too interested in who attended which service. We'll have tracking numbers for that. But this is for who attended church on Sunday. We're going to click check in. And a large list of all the people that are currently in our church database will show up. Now in the future, as we get in this system underway, we'll be able to narrow this list to people that are actually attending our church regularly, and so there won't be all these names of people that have only attended once, but until we have a good record of who's regularly attending, we won't be able to narrow this list. It'll say switch to search mode. We're going to say no, we don't want to switch to search mode. At this point, we're going to continue without switching. It just saves a lot of time for you for typing. Now you'll have your alphabetical list of connection cards next to you, and as you do, you just scroll down and find your first family. So let's say we go to the Adams, the first family. You would click on Glenn Adams, and right away it would pop up everybody in Glenn Adams' family. So Glenn and Marilyn, let's say, are there. You would click done. They're now signed in. Now we'll go down to the next family. Perhaps we have the Allens. We can click on Tom Allen. And we have on the paper only Tom and Melinda and David. Now we know perhaps that Alyssa and Tyler were there, but we're not going to enter them in on this database because they're recorded in a separate database for children's ministry. So unless they're in the service on the piece of paper, don't record their name, even if you know they were there on a Sunday morning. Click done, that'll check them all in, and we'll go down to the next one. And this is how we'll go through our whole stack of papers. So it really doesn't take that long because when you click one individual, it pulls up everyone from that family, which should all be on that one sheet. And so it should be a fairly quick way to cover all those people. If you notice that people are not showing up on the sheet that are in the same family, just record that and send it off to our welcome team, and we'll make sure that in the database they're associated with the correct family. So if on your scroll through you don't happen to find the names of the people that you are on a sheet, it's perhaps that they're not in our database yet. And so near the top you'll see a plus sign. Just save those all for the last. Just put them in a separate stack when you're entering them, and then save them all for the last. Press the plus sign, and up on the side here will become the opportunity to add a name. Then we'll type in there John, and then let's say Smith, and right away it'll pop up the options for some of the people in the database. So perhaps you've missed them, and you would just then click their name here, and I would add and check them in. But if there's a new name, then you can add them this way. You could also add multiple people from the same family at a time. So if you have a whole family coming in, you can add them all at once, and this will associate them together as a family so that they show up in the database at once in the future. So that's a simple way to add an extra person to the database that you haven't seen yet. And that should be all there is to it. At the end, we'll have a fairly accurate list of the people that filled out connection cards that want to be cared for in this way, and that'll just be a real helpful tool for us. So thanks for all your hard work.